How did it make you feel when Andre Knight got up there? Was he speaking? Was he speaking to you? No, he was speaking to Maury Minges.
I think he was speaking to the whole
When he
room,
said,
actually.
"If you can answer these three
Oh,
questions
that one.
about slavery, I will answer that question about
No,
the
he
40."
was saying that to me.
He was saying that to you.
Because remember I got kicked out of my first meeting that I
You
ever
did?
went to. Yeah.
I never knew that.
That Wednesday meeting that they called when everybody got the double billing.
Uh-huh.
And during that meeting, he started lecturing. Near the end of it, he started lecturing all of us about how we should be polite to the people that work there. The young ladies, they can't help
remember
what's
that.
going on. And I got frustrated. I yelled out, "You can lecture
You're
us."
right. I remember. Now it brings back. Oh, my mind is going.
Well, where was I? Oh, I was the one who yelled out, "You can lecture us about paying our own bills when you pay your $47,000."
I remember that. You was in the front row.
And,
I remember.
Yeah, and he blew a gasket. That's when he called me the Karen.
Yes.
And that's when he told me that people like me just want all the blacks back in the jungle, and had me kicked out of the meeting.
I remember that.
And that's when I swore I will try to make it to every single meeting from now on. The only two I've missed so far is when I had to go to Florida for my granddaughter's college graduation and my grandson's wedding. But after that, I came back and I'll be at all the meetings. And but he hates me. He gives me the evil eye every time I sit down in there.
That day when Randa was escorted out, let's say, what pushed you over that you got up and
because I saw how they were treating her, and I thought to myself, if I sit here, I'm going to say something else. I'm going to get up and I'm going to say something, and I'm going to end up arrested. I'm going to have a dog at home with nobody to feed it. So I said, I'm leaving now before I blow my top. It takes a lot to make me lose my temper, but he was pushing all the buttons that day. When I went outside, which was right behind her and stuff, when I got out into that open area, I'm hearing her saying, "Just leave me alone. I'm leaving. I'm going to leave." And I thought that it was like echoing from downstairs. And then I saw some action in my peripheral vision, turned around, and they were escorting her into an office down there, had her arm up behind her back. They were manhandling her. And I yelled out, "Leave her alone!" And one of the guards looked up and looked at me and just went on and put her through. And they ended up arresting her.
She got to face 4 charges. She got to go to court for 4 charges.
And I need to get in touch with her, find out when, because I want to go there as a witness, because I think she was manhandled. And the whole time, even when she was in the room, right after she did the little outburst, she said, "I'm leaving."
Exactly, right.
But
that's on video.
Yeah, but it was even worse out in the hallway, and I was the only witness. But they were manhandling her, had her arm up behind her back and everything, and shoving her down that hallway. And
was it 3 officers? 3 court officers?
No, at that point there were just 2 of them.
2.
But I think there were at 1.3. One probably stayed back and guarding the doors.
It wasn't like she was fighting them. She was telling them, "Get off, I'm leaving."
Right.
Okay.
And like I said, I left because I knew that I don't have a bad temper, but when I have a temper, I have a temper. And I could only take so much of his bigotry and he's the most prejudiced person I've met in my whole life. Honest to God, he is. I don't think I've ever met anybody who is as evil as he is.
You guys have been hanging around Curmilus too much. Both of them about the same.
Well, no, but Curmilus is at least, he's just stupid. He's stupid and uneducated. But Andre Knight is dangerous and he's evil.
I agree with you with that.
He's dangerous and he's evil. And I left. And that's why I left, because I knew that I would. Because Monday nights I have to take my dog to what's called Cowboy Church.
Cowboy Church?
Yeah. You never heard of Cowboy Church?
No, what's that?
It's actually a denomination under the Baptist ministry. It was started by a guy in, I believe it was 74, who rode the rodeo and became a Christian. And he started churches out out west to start with, but he started churches, planted them in all the places the rodeo went, and it got
Wow.
got called Cowboy Church, and we have about 3 of them in this area.
Do you feel we should eliminate the ward system?
Yes.
Now,
Because the ward system creates, it almost gives too much power to particular wards. Like, for instance, Ward 1 is, have you looked at it on the map? It's giant. It's bigger than, but to me, because of the population, like you say, 63%,
60% actual blacks.
which means that if the blacks came out and vote, there's a good chance they could make the whole council black. So
Right.
this idea that we're going back in time to get rid of this or that, that's bull.
Right, exactly. That's the point we was making right there.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, you could have every person up there black, this from the city councilman, the mayor, and everybody. So why are you fighting?
Because they've got power right now. Andre and Blackwell are the 2 worst in the bunch. They've got power, and they've made money off of their constituency by not paying bills that somebody else has to pay. I mean, they had to, somehow in the books, they had to make up for that $47,000 worth of non-payment. You know where it always goes on? The other guys who pay.
What ward are you in?
I'm in Ward 4, TJ
TJ Walker.
TJ
Maxx. We just
but TJ Walker. Yeah, I'm in his area.
do,
And truthfully, if
do you feel your ward is getting better? I'm in 3, and we've been here since 2007, and
now
it hasn't improved.
which one is yours?
Charles Robertson, which was
Well, truthfully, for a while there, I was thinking, when I started going to the meetings, I was thinking to myself, there were 4 people I could count on, you know, to be honest there. You know, I thought Lige and Harris and Robinson and TJ Walker. And then the more I went to meetings, I decided, well, no, Lige seems to just go along with whatever they want. Harris seems to go along with whatever they want. So for a while there, I thought the only 2 honest ones there are Robinson and TJ Walker. But anymore, I don't know. Truthfully, I think that we should do away with the ward system and just do it across the board. Maybe say, okay, we're going to have everybody who wants to be in that position run, and the top 7 get the spots.
now that somebody brought that question to us one time. If we remove the ward system, should the person that we vote for to represent that ward, should they live in that ward?
See, and that's the other issue. I know Andre does not live in the city.
He doesn't. Charles doesn't.
They own property in it, but there's a big difference between owning property and living in it.
Right.
And to me, as soon as that come out, they should have automatically just said, you can't be on the city council because you're not representing the city. You're living off in some gated neighborhood.
Do you feel that anybody who lives in the city should be able to run for whichever ward?
Yep.
Okay,
Not
that
run
makes
for
sense about that
whichever-
address thing. That makes sense.
But not run in their ward. I don't believe there should be wards. I think
There should be just a council of a certain amount of people that
Right.
runs the city.
that's right. And they should be openly voted on by everybody in the city who wants to cast a ballot. And it shouldn't matter, because that way you're going to end up with something probably that is a little more racially balanced,
Right.
or if economically balanced. You know, you're going to get a better representation than when we do the ward system. The ward system is just, and we should also have term limits. My firm belief is, if you're going to limit the President of the United States to 2 terms, there shouldn't be a politician anywhere in America that gets more than 2 terms.
That was my next question to you, because we did speak about that, but we felt like that was a double-edged sword, because if we get somebody on the city council that's really good, I mean, this person loves Rocky Mountain, doing everything they can, and we realize, wait a minute, they only can run for 2. Now, I don't know if there's any other city in the country that a councilman only has there's term
I
limits.
know, but the problem is here is in this town, they've turned it into a money-making scheme for themselves.
Oh, no doubt about that.
And you know, everything from that stupid civic center, that is the biggest loss we had. We pay every month outrageous fees just to keep the water and the power onto that building. And it's not getting that much use. Why? Because it's a stupid location. The more than half of the parking is across the railroad tracks from it. So if there's a train stop there, which happens quite often, where the trains,
oh man, I hate that.
Then how are you going to get to whatever you paid for the ticket for when there's a train sitting there?
When the event center was first thought up, we thought it was going to be out there by the hotels, by 64.
And it should have been out there somewhere.
That's what we thought it was going to be at.
And that is what all the city planners, I've heard that 3 different city planners got up. Now, this is what I'm hearing hearsay, because I wasn't involved in going to meetings at that point. But the hearsay was that 3 city planners looked at them and said, that's not a good location. We need to have a better location for this. And they ignored it. Why? Because that property was owned by Andre. And Andre got it for pennies on the dollar.
The church. Where the church is.
Not just that, but that whole, there used to be old houses, beat up old houses on that.
Oh, there's more. Okay.
And he bought that land for pennies on the dollar, probably back taxes, tore those houses down, and then he strong-armed his way into having the city council approve that as a location. Never mind, these city planners said, no, won't work. You know, they probably used some of the reasons I did. The railroad track being right through the middle of things. I'm sorry, the OIC is one of the crookedest things, and I know it does some good in some areas, but a lot of its money is just funneled right back into Andre and Blackwell. You know, it's not the do-good thing that everybody is convinced that it is. I think it's a money laundering situation. They're sending money back through there, and then they're putting it in their bank account.
There's a lot of people that agree with you on that. A lot of people that agree with you on that. So you feel that the event center should not have been put there.
Yeah.
Do you feel that I know you feel that it's pretty much a useless building right now, but did you think it was going to be what it is right now? Like when we heard event center, we thought, you know what, this might be a good, have concerts, and we thought it was going to be something like the Lenovo Center in Raleigh. We thought, wow. But then it turned out to be some little kid sports complexes or other things like that.
What it is it was a bad location. You can't build something of that magnitude that's going to supposedly attract that many people and not have sufficient parking. The two go hand in hand. You can't do one without the other. And people got tired of parking, having to go across the railroad tracks between trains and stuff.
I don't understand that how did they design this and build this, and now they're talking about a parking garage? Like, didn't you think of parking and all this before you built it?
Yeah, but instead they want to put even more money into it. Well, the truth is, we're almost in a position where we don't have a choice, because somebody said, well, we can sell it. Who in their right mind is going to buy that from us?
All right, Mary, I'm going to tell you what I thought.
And they'll buy it for pennies on the dollar.
I will tell you right now, when it first came out, I looked at it, and my exact words, and I still stand it by today, that is going to be a mega church. That is going to be a mega church. Yeah, I stand by that. That's what's going to happen.
You might be right. But personally, anybody who would go to a racist man like him for preaching, I feel very sorry for their souls. I do. He is the most racist man I've ever met in my life.
You know,
everything is down to the horrible whites. The horrible whites. You know, and
Yeah.
it's like, excuse me, half of the country sent their sons out to die to free the blacks. Are all of a sudden they're in that lump of the horrible whites? You know, I mean, really, get real.
If you could back up time, would you move here to Rocky Mount?
No, but that's mostly because my son, when he was in the Air Force over there, they had promised him, oh, don't worry, you'll be at this base until you retire.
Uh-huh.
And so my company I worked for used to have a call center over here, the Alorica Call Center,
Yeah.
and I worked there. So I came up here so I could see my grandchildren, because before that they were everywhere. They were in England, they were in Wyoming, they were in Arizona, and I mean, I never got time with my grandchildren. So I moved up here to be close to them, and I was up here 2.5 years, and I said, why am I renting a room? Why don't I buy a house since I'm going to be up here anyway? I bought a house, and just in a few months, the Air Force sent them to Abilene, Texas, which is 24-hour car drive away. And I didn't see him again for 2 times in 4 years. And
Wow.
and now, and ironically, that wasn't their last base. From there, they went to Crestview, Florida, which is an hour away from where my kid was raised. And so, believe me, if I could get the right money for my house, I'd liable to just move back down there to be close to the grandbabies.
Our plan is to move to Raleigh, and we were close to it too. That's when the pandemic hit.
I just don't know that I could live in Raleigh. Just the traffic alone drives me crazy. I hate that many cars being on the road at the same time.
Yeah.
Because what is it in this area that I've seen some of the craziest drivers here that I've ever seen in my life, and I've driven in a lot of states. I thought Alabama was bad, but it ain't nothing compared to the North Carolina drivers. I wonder sometimes if some of them ever took driver's ed. They scare the hell out of me on the road. But